Hello and welcome back to another star-studded episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob, and I am yours truly, the one and only King Jacob. So tonight we'll be chopping up about this ever so clever music industry, and the same industry that people warned us about getting into, and we have none other than special guest industry music executive for a very, very long time, 20 years plus, none other than Mel Love. What's up, man?
What's going on, family? Peace and blessings. Link the link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So man, being who you are, you've had a remarkable journey in this music business, and you work with some of the biggest names ever. Some of our favorites growing up as we was kids and in high school, you was working with these people hand in hand, side beside them. So before we get into your journey, who is Mel Love?
Mel Love is a good person, a father, friend, um, just a helpful individual that's out here loving the world and, just want the best for everybody to win out here. And that's who Mel Love is, the movement you want to move with, link to link.
All right, all right, all right. That's what I'm talking about. Because love will conquer all for sure. And
You
once we
already
embody that and embrace that, that's when the community development really starts. That's how we can rebrand and
right,
restructure through love. So I can dig that.
right.
So tell me about when you started the journey in the music business.
My parents put me through the ringer, put me in the music business. My father, he was a songwriter, and he used to write a lot of songs for his friends and his cousins, and he passed it on to me since I was born. He just said, "Yo, start singing this right here." I didn't know I could sing. He knew it, so he started writing the songs for me and having me sing for the family, my sisters, and growing up, that kind of gave me the practice to do what I'm doing all this time, having the passion and the love for the music industry.
Okay, okay, okay. So man, you did some remarkable things, and so when did you knew? Well, what made you know that you had a place in the music industry and that you can make an impact?
I didn't know. I just, it was just God, blessing me with the gifts and the tools that I have, which is a great mindset and a good upbringing from my parents and, good friends that have been around me. And, God just led me the way to do the righteous things out here, wanting the best for people. And, on my journey, it led me to doing the great things that I have been doing all this time.
Okay, okay, okay. And so when did that movement start for you? As far as I know you was born into it, you got music, you gifted musically, you know, um through your upbringing, through your genetics and things of that nature. But when did you really step out on Front Street and people like, oh, who is this guy?
I believe when I was living in Jefferson Projects and I started producing music off of the tape decks and beating on pots and pans and filling up my cups and the glasses of little bits of water here and there and just, creating my music. And when I started doing that, putting my speakers to the window and people listening to me playing the music loud. And when my friends start running upstairs, banging on my door, like, yo, let me get on that track. Let me get that. That's when I knew I had something.
Okay, okay. And what age was that?
Probably like around 11, 12. I was doing that. And then, I left when I was like 13. I left my house and just got on my journey from there and been on my own ever since, from 13 years old, leaving my house and just going about my business, but just doing it the righteous way, only way I know how
Mm.
to.
So leaving the house at 13 years old, that's a big move. That's a big risk.
Yeah,
That's a big step.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
like how strong, like your faith had to be so strong at the age of 13 to even step out there on Front Street like that. And so like how did that all come about, man? Did you just see a vision and you be like, I got to go get this?
God always talked to me through my dreams, and I make the connection, and when I woke up one morning, I just told myself, I gotta go. And it was actually through my stepmother, what I mean, being so mean to me. And, I just said, I can't be here no more. I got to be on my own and do what I got to do. And I always remember what my dad told me: when you grown enough to get the hell up out my house and be on your own too, then you have to go and be a man and do what you got to do. But he taught me good values and everything like that. So right then and there, I just said, all right, I'm not trying to get in trouble or anything. I just need to leave. So I can just be on my own and do what I got to do. So that led me to a path of, being out there at 13 years old. I was young, scared, but I had faith and I knew God got me. So I just said, yo, I can do this. I got talent and I'm just going to do the music business and just make it happen. And, I had good friends that was around me that always said, yo, Mel, I got you. Let's go do what we got to do. We'll follow you to the end of time. So I just said, all right, let's go.
Wow, wow. That's pretty that's pretty righteous and that's pretty noble that you got friends that had your back like at such a young age, man. Those are lifetime friends, man. And so upon that, so how did you get the talent out there to the masses at 13, 14 years old? So were you doing community talent shows or were you just singing on the block and were you rocking the parks or like how did it come about?
I was doing all that, family. I started in my school. I had a good teacher who passed away, Miss Z. I got to do a movie with her, but she seen the talent in me. When I used to go to school, I used to tell her I got so much on my brain, could I just get it out? So she said, all right, the class, pack up your books and everything. Mel got something to say, and she allowed me to get everything on my mind. So what I did was create an orchestra with my whole class. I had them beatboxing, banging on the table, singing harmonies, clapping their hands, all types of stuff, where the whole class was just doing something that I needed them to do that was on my brain, creating this orchestra where I was doing music. So with that, my teacher seen that and she said, you know something, this is what we're going to do. And we created a poetry book, which made it to the news. She got us on the news. We did shows and all types of stuff, and that was at a young age. So, I just took that and I just said, something, if I can do this, I know I can do more. So as I'm going along in the business, I started pressing up tapes. God bless the dead to DJ K Slay. He allowed me to get on his third mixtape where he was in the purple suit with the bald head. And, me and K Slay, we used to work together back in the day. He was selling t-shirts and socks out of the cart and I was selling watches. So after we finished work, he used to be like, yo, run with me upstairs to my mom's house. I want to show you something. So this is when I learned that he started DJing. So I'm sitting on the crate in his house and he's playing a beat and I'm mumbling. And he was like, yo, Mel, what you just say? And I just said, yo, I'm not racist. Some of my best friends are white. 5, 10, 20, $100 bill, y'all. And he was like, yo, that's fire. Let me put that on the tape. So I got to get on that tape. And then, at the same time, a week after that, I got on DJ Chill Will from the East Side's mixtape called The Masterpiece, and he allowed me to get on there. At the same time, I was doing a TV show called Follow the Flavor that I did with two of my other good friends, which was Sean Blacks and Harlem Mad Dad, which his name is Mr. Stash right now. We started a TV show called Follow the Flavor in the 90s where we had everybody that you name that's somebody to this day on our TV show and made them something, because we used to show their music videos and we allowed them to be on our platform so they can talk what they wanted to talk, show and prove who they was. And we built up they whole character to where they somebody right now. And these people are like Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Jay-Z, Eazy-E, you know, just to name a few. Sean Puffy Combs, Andre Harrell, Kirk Burroughs with the New York Live. We just went through it all, you know, just filming these great individuals, not knowing, like, at the time they was upcoming artists, just like everybody are right now, you know, upcoming artists just trying to get on. So when they used to call me like, yo, Mel, I'd like to get on your TV show. So back then there was no internet or nothing like that. You know what I mean? The only thing we probably had was beepers and AOL to check our message. And that's it. You got Mel. Remember that?
Right, right, right,
So
right, right, right.
So after that, it's like we was like the first internet access that anybody had, and only runners up that really had something out at the time was Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box, you know, where he had to hire Tuffy and Crazy
Right.
Sam's just to keep up with Follow the Flavor TV show, you know. But it's all a blessing, you know, learning experience. And, you know, we had so many great individuals at that time on our TV show where a lot of them is the music is out, is playing. Some of them went platinum, double platinum, and they doing what they got to do to this day. And we still standing. We here, you know.
So man, I just want to ask you, man. So I'm from South Carolina, but I'm gonna make a confession
Right.
to you of
Mm-hmm.
my New York favorites. And
All
so,
right.
and I'm pretty sure that you don't work with them. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Rakim. I'm a big fan of
Right.
Big Daddy Kane. Big fan of
Mm-hmm.
Karis One. Big fan of
Right.
Dougie. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
I also once upon a time was a big fan of Gangstar and Mike Geronimo. So
Right.
so you
Bless them.
know yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Guru, like my cousin Mike G, man, he used to listen. He's like, man, I was like, what you listen to? He said, man, I went to the flea market, got this tape. It's a guy from New York that come down here maybe like once a month and just be selling the tapes at the flea market. And I said, who that? He
Mm-hmm.
said, DJ Ron G. I said, huh?
Oh yeah.
DJ Ron G. He was like, yeah, man. So I was like, man, dub me one of them tapes, man. And so he dubbed it for me, and I said, who that with that flavor, with that manly voice and spitting them lyrics? Like he said, man, that's Gangstar. He's the truth. That's Guru, man. He's the truth.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so that's how I
Mm-hmm.
became a fan of Guru, and I became a fan of Big Daddy Kane. First it was just his swagger. You know what I mean? Because Big
Right.
Daddy Kane was like how these cats try to dress now. He been doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like and then when I heard him rhyme and
Guru,
say again.
Guru was the truth. That was a good. I said Guru was the truth. You know, that was a good
Mhm.
friend of mine. He used to call me all the time. We used to hang out in Brooklyn and Harlem and everything. Before I got locked up and went to Rikers Island, I got into a little trouble and everything like that. But he called me to get on his Bald Head Slick and the Click album, you know, and I passed it on to my brothers, you know, Lord and Harlem, G-Man. You know what I mean? Who's got a group right now called Harlem Six. I couldn't be on it, but I passed the envelope to them so they can be on it, and they got to be on that classic album to this day. So peace and blessings to Guru. You know, may he rest in peace, and big ups to Harlem Six, who's doing their thing out there right now. You know.
What. And so,
And
those are some of my favorites, man. And I can't forget about EPMD and Public Enemy, and just
right,
just like all the old school cats, man. That paved that way, man. And
right,
I
right.
was
I
I was
used
just sharing with some. You say you
I
used to
used
do
to
what?
push that. I used to push all
Okay,
of their
okay.
music too, because I started Def Jam with what you call him, Russell Simmons, you
Hmm.
know, and Russell. put me on the street team. So I used to hang up flyers and posters and everything like that, you know, and I used to push Redman and EPMD's records and everything, you know, when we had those type of projects to push. And that's way before I even got to Uptown MCA and Bad Boy.
Right. So yeah, man. So I tell young cats all the time, man. You know, I like the digital era, Mel, but I tell people that you have to mix the analog with the digital era, man, to really
Mm-hmm.
have balance in the music business, because there's a lot of times that people want that face to face meeting. You know, people
Right.
people really want to sit down and build with you instead of just doing it over the internet all the time. So, you know, I think you got to mix the two,
Right.
and it gives business that balance. So, but you know, with you, man, you know, we're gonna get more into the topic, life after Bad Boy. And so,
No doubt.
um, just want to know, as far as, before we get all the way into that, let's talk about Uptown Records and what your experience was with Uptown Records.
Uptown Records, you know, God bless to Andre Harrell. You know, I learned a lot when I was at Uptown through the workings of Kirk Burroughs. Thank you for hiring me and giving me the opportunity to work at Uptown MCA, Sean Puffy Combs as well. You know, I used to work for those two brothers, and, you know, being a part of the team at Uptown, it felt like home, Harlem, all day. You know, everybody dressing up, the dress to impress, everybody going to work, doing their thing, you know, and it was structured. You know, Puffy was on it, you know, really trying to keep everybody together and doing what they have to do, as far as making sure that whatever records we was pushing together as a team and as a family, you know. I looked at that and I just said, you know, this is something that I'm grateful for being a part of. And to this day, you know, I thank everybody that I work with there. It taught me a lot.
Okay. So you built a lot of relationships while working there. So what would you say, man? You know, on pushing those records. You know, who was the most impactful artist that you ever pushed with Uptown?
All of them, like Mary J. Blige, when she first started, Father MC, Christopher Williams, Heavy D, and the Boys, Nesto Velasquez, which turned into one of my artists that I started managing because his manager passed away at the time, and I asked Andre Harrell to give me a chance to, you know, push Nesto Velasquez and don't shelve him, you know, because he's a good artist. And I used to give his music to Red Alert and, you know, a whole bunch of other DJs where they started playing his record Personality on the radio and getting it out there. Jodeci, Father MC, you know, it was a whole bunch of artists at that time which made it through and blew up, you know. Biggie Smalls, you know, he was at Uptown, you know, Jesse West, Third Eye, Q, Total. Um, it was just a whole bunch of artists, you know what I mean, that was on that roster that were great artists at that time that did what they had to do, you know. But like I
Right.
said, by working for Uptown, I pushed all of them. I've been there with all their careers. I built personal relationships with all of them, you know, where I was at some of the kids' parties, they family parties, all that, you know what I mean? That's how well I knew them, you know?
Right. And so, you know, I hear a lot of people, man, a lot of old school cats and cats that was really DJing, you know, back in them times, was really on street promotion scenes, you know, was really out there in the street from city to city. They always say that people actually in the music business, they really don't know how impactful that Christopher Williams movement was. And so, because
Yeah.
you was there in them times of that New Jack City movement. And so, you
Jack
know,
City era.
how impactful was that era with Teddy Riley, Christopher Williams, Guy, and all those
Guy,
guys?
Marin Hall, all of them. Like I said, it was a learning experience, and being around all of them, the energy was on a trillion, you know. And it's like when they step in the room, you could feel that positive energy that you wanted to be around that era. You wanted to be around this great music that was being produced at the time. And to be a part of that scene, you had to be there to really get that whole feeling and that experience that, you know, they was all gonna become somebody, and they was going to be famous, and you know, just by being on the background but helping them get to where they had to go. Like, I had conversations, me and Christopher Williams, walking from 115th and Lenox Avenue all the way to Branson on the west side and back to the studio, because I was working on tracks with Christopher Williams as well, you know, as a producer. So, you know, a lot of these artists was giving me a chance because I was their friend at the same time too. I wasn't just looking at them as, all right, you know, y'all got these records out and everything like that, let me get tickets to the concert, even though I had passes to get into every single thing that they was a part of. But as being a friend, it was like more family orientated with us. And, you know, sometimes they come to my studio or I go to the studio with them, you know, just to sit down and chop it up and try to come up with some great innovative ideas and new songs for the public to love and enjoy. You know, a lot of time I ain't get no credit on nothing. I just gave it to them. Just at the time I was just learning, and I didn't know about points and royalties at the time or anything like that. So I was just so eager and happy just to be on songs and be a part of the scene, that I was just giving myself and just giving all these crazy ass ideas that worked, you know, and they stuck.
Right.
But the world didn't. I was behind it, and I was putting my stamp on all these great individuals that I met through my journey.
Right. So you was just mainly, you know, gaining a lot of exposure, a lot of traction, building a lot of new connections, but you just really didn't
Right.
understand the points and the royalties and stuff. But those connections that you
And
built are
that,
connections for a lifetime. So it definitely worked out in your favor.
right,
Right.
right. It
So
sure did. To add 2022 right now and still being consistent and still having contact and access to these great people, then I know that I did something right, where I didn't care about the money at the time, but I built relationships with everybody. And that's why Link to Link is the movement you want to move with. And I do the things that I do out here, you know, just to see people win. That's what, you know, I love doing for everybody.
right. So with that being said, we're gonna talk about this topic. Life after Bad Boy Records. And so, you
Mhm.
know, we're gonna get into when you got into the era when you was working with Bad Boy. So when did you get into the era when you was working really deeply connected with Bad Boy?
Well, at Uptown, that's where we started. You know, I was answering phones heavily, going into the studio, you know, just running around with Kirk Burroughs, sitting at his house, you know, having me sit down with him and jotting down all the notes in his book and asking me a bunch of questions, because I was the youngest one there at Uptown at the time, you know, and everybody was older than me. So, you know, for me, having that fresh air and the outlook of running around in the streets and going from all these clubs, I was in the scene and I knew what was going on. Plus, I'm taping my TV show, Follow the Flavor. So, you know, a lot of people was coming to me, asking me, yo, could you put me on? Can you take my tape? And I used to do that for a couple of my friends, bring them down to Uptown MCA and try to get them signed and all that. You know what I mean? I only got probably a couple of people on, and, you know, these are friends to this day of mine. But at the same time, you know, the transition happened from Uptown to Bad Boys when Puffy got fired from Uptown. You know, he got Andre Harrell fired him. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this. You know, Andre Harrell was calling me, you know, he was paging me. At the time I had a beeper, you know, and I called Kirk Burrows and I let him know, like, yo, listen, Andre Harrell keep calling my phone, but my loyalty to Kirk Burrows and Sean Puffy Combs, I had to, you know, let them know what was going on. I didn't know that Puffy got fired at the time until Kirk Burrows told me, like, listen, don't go down to Uptown. Puffy just got fired, you know, him and Andre just got into it, and, you know, don't go down there, you know. But at the same time, you know, if Andre Harrell was calling me and paging me like crazy, I felt like maybe I could be the next runner up, you know what I mean, to be in that A&R position, because Andre Harrell kept coming to me and talking to me, and he was kind of, you know, mentoring me, as well as Puffy and Kirk Burrows mentoring me at the same time, because I was doing a lot, you know. I was helping Kirk Burrows out, being his assistant, his right hand, making sure he was all right with all the work that he was asking me to do. On top of that, I was trying to be Puffy's right hand and be where he was at. The same time, Andre Harrell was seeing all the great things that I was doing in the industry, like when nobody was dealing with Puffy because of the situation that happened at the city college when people got trampled on. Nobody was rocking with Puffy at the time, you know, so it was very hard for Puffy to even step in the club. Nobody wanted him in there. So it was one time where Uptown was throwing a great show at Radio City Music Hall, and I seen Puffy standing outside, you know, with a couple of people. And I said, I'll be right back. And he looked at me like I was crazy, but I was with Kenny Parker, KRS-One's brother, and he gave me a pass. So I said, all right, Puff, I'll be right back. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I walked inside Radio City Music Hall, went to the owner because the owner was standing right there. And I overheard them talking when they was like, oh, this is the owner and this and that. So I went to the owner and I said, listen, you know, could you please let my boss in? You know, it's not right that all this great music that he produced, you know, and y'all dancing, singing to, drinking to, and everything like that, and y'all got this man standing outside. That's not right. You know what I mean? And really have a heart and let that man in and let him enjoy what he produced and everything like that, you know, because it's right if you do that. So the lady looked at me, and Andre Harrell, I didn't know he was in back of me, listening to the way I was talking to these people, you know? So the lady looked at me, she was like, young man, you're respectful and I like how you talking. Come here for a minute. Here, take these passes and give it to your boss. So I said, all right, no problem. She was like, matter of fact, I'm gonna come with you to make sure that he knows that it was you, that we allowing him to come inside right now so he can enjoy what he produced. So when I went back outside, Kenny Parker was like, yo, he put a thumbs up to me. He was like, yo, that's dope right there. You know what I mean? So I walked outside and said, yo, Puff. And he looked at me. He was like, what? I was like, here's your passes. And he was like, they're not going to let me inside. I was like, come on, let's go. They're going to let you inside. So the lady was like, come on, Puffy. Because of this man right here, this young man right here, we're going to allow you inside because he spoke up for you. Everybody else didn't speak up for you, but he's the only one that spoke up for you, and we're giving him these passes for you. So thank him. And then Puffy looked at me. He was like, yo, thanks, Mel. And then we all walked in. So Andre Harrell looked at me, and he was like, yo, you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to be a power to be reckoned with in this industry. You know what I mean? Because I like the way you move. So he said that to me that night. When we got to Uptown MCA the next day, everybody was talking like, yo, Mel Love just got Puffy into Radio City Music Hall, this and that, you know what I mean? So everybody clapping for me when I came from school and I came and sat down and stuff. So I'm like, thank you to everybody. So then my name started ringing bells when they saying what I did. So I'm like, all right, that's just one thing, you know what I mean? So I kept at it. I just kept on trying to get Puffy into stuff and out of trouble and a whole bunch of stuff. Even Heavy D scene when I stopped him from getting into a fight and all this stuff, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's no here there. I was just doing my job, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just wanted them to see that I was there for them and I was loyal and I was really there for that purpose. But I feel now, looking back at the situation, that, you know, I was stopped from one of my blessings, because if Andre Harrell was blowing up my phone and they telling me not to go down to Uptown, maybe I should have went down to Uptown just to hear the conversation that Andre Andre Harrell had for me, you know, just to make my own decision and my own choice. I didn't allow that to happen. I let them tell me, nah, don't go down to Uptown, you know what I mean? Because we don't need to be down there no more. You know what I mean? So maybe they already knew that Andre wanted to do something with me to put me in position. But, you know, I stopped it. But like I said, my loyalty went with Kirk Burroughs and Sean Puffy Combs. So I stuck with them, you know, because I believed in them. I believed in Puffy so much and Kirk Burroughs so much when they told me, yo, we starting Bad Boy Entertainment, which was Kirk Burroughs and Sean Puffy Combs company together as they brotherhood before they brought me into the situation, you know? And, you know, at that time, what's his name? He passed away. God bless the dead to him too. D Ferg. You know, D Ferg is Ferg from ASAP Rocky's son. You know what I mean? But his father. I used to work in the Uptown. He's the one that created the Bad Boy logo. And he came to me first and he was like, yo, Mel, tell me what you think about this right here. And I just looked at it and I said, yo, that's dope right there. And can I get a copy? And he gave me a copy of it. And I took the copy to the jewelry shop and I made my first chain. I made a Bad Boy chain out of what he gave me, you know, and that's before he even gave it to Puffy and let him see it. And Puffy's birthday was just about to happen before, you know, before he showed it to him. So I was like, yo, that's dope right there. I already know Puffy gonna love that right there. So as you see, I was the first one to approve the Bad Boy logo as well. You know what I mean? Before Puffy even got to see it. You know, so I know certain things that I possessed in my brain and things that was given to me. And I'm saying, yeah, that's dope or that'll work. It worked because he used the Bad Boy logo and everything like that with the baby and the Bad Boy in the back. That's the one that I created the chain. If you look at the picture with me and Puffy shaking hands, I made the chain first and I brung it, wore it at his birthday party. Now, the thing is, the only reason why you see me with a Wilson sweatsuit on and everything like that, because the day of his birthday party was the event, they still had me doing paperwork at the office. You understand? So they said, once you finish the work, then you can come to the shop, come to the party and everything like that. But by the time I finished up my work and everything like that, and I went to go run, I had to go run to the jewelry shop to go pick up the chain so I can give it to Puffy because I bought it for him to show him how much loyalty that I had and how much I really believed in him creating Bad Boy with Kirk Burroughs. You know, so I wanted to show them that, look, you didn't give me no money, but I took my own money and I made this pendant for you. You know what I mean? So take this and run with it. But when he seen it on my neck, he had a different feel of it. He was like, yo, Playboy, what you doing? How you going to have a Bad Boy chain before me? You know what I mean? I was like, nah, family, don't take it like that. I bought it for you. But I don't think he liked it. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just took it off my neck and I just said, fuck it. Nobody have it. I threw that shit in the gutter. I just said, all right, you don't want me to have it. I'm not going to have it. You ain't going to have it either. And I just snatched it off my neck and tossed it, which I should have never did that. You know what I mean? Because it was worth some money. You know what I mean? White gold at the time and everything. And it was the first Bad Boy. I could have put that in the museum or something like that to this day, you know?
That's true. That's true. That's the fact. So, all right. So you was loyal to Puffy, but anybody know anything about music, especially in NYC? Andre Harrell was one of the biggest executives ever. You know what I mean? And his name held a lot of weight. So upon not picking up them calls with Andre, you know, you feel maybe though that you could have really missed out on something that could have been very spectacular. And
I believe I missed one of the opportunities and my blessings that he was about to bless me and give me a great office space and be a part of Uptown. And maybe I could have been running Uptown to this day. You know what I mean? Because I got a great ear of music. I have a lot of talented friends and family that deserve the spot. So, you know, I seen Andre after that and he did question me. He said, why you never picked up the phone for me? Why you never called me back when I'm beeping you? And I just said, you know, my loyalty to Kirk Burroughs and Puffy, they told me not to go down to Uptown MCA. He was like, you're a little too loyal. He was like, sometimes you just got to go for what you know and what your gut feeling is telling you. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, thank you for the jewel.
Yeah, and then a lot of times, man, he spoke some real jewels to you about being too loyal. So a lot of times when people are
Mhm.
loyal to a certain type of situation, that don't mean that that same situation is going to be loyal to you. You know what I mean?
With me, right.
Uh, right. And so with that being said, so you start working with with Bad Boy, and you was working with them heavy, and it made a real deep impact. So once Puffy got fired, and and them guys transitioned over to Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment.
Right.
How was that process for you?
Um, it was slow at first. We had to work out of each other houses and everything like that. We was working out of Kirk Burrow's house, my house, Puffy's house, running around. I'm driving around, you know what I mean, in my car. Kirk Burrow's everywhere, the different studios, meeting and greeting with people, trying to keep the momentum up and get the word out there that we Bad Boy now, So since I had my TV show, it worked greatly for them because I was always promoting them on my TV show, Bad Boy this, Bad Boy that, So everywhere I went, every city and state I went to, I had the records. Actually, it was Craig Mack and Biggie Smalls. We did a package, the Big Mac, and we
Right.
was giving that out, to everybody. I'm standing at the DJ booth, making sure that the DJs are playing. I won't move until they play the song, and I put the pressure on them like, yo, you got to play this. This is fire. Sometime I had to wait all night before they even play it one time, just because they didn't know about it yet. And then when I started getting circulated everywhere, then they started giving me the respect like, oh, okay, Bad Boy, okay, because they didn't know about Bad Boy. They didn't know nothing about it. It was just a new label coming up. And, at the time, they didn't have no respect at all until things started hitting the fan where they started hearing the music more so than ever. And then they started falling in love with Bad Boy. And then it was easier for us to just walk into any place and just get what we want and do what we want. And that's it.
All right. So like, would you per se to say that the Craig Mack record really blew Bad Boy up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Flavor
And
in your
so
ear,
that
uh, all
right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
And so that flavor in your ear, man, like how did it hit the radio world? Like was it like a whirlwind, or was it shared amongst radio personalities, or once people heard it on the radio it was a wrap?
Yeah, once people heard it on the radio, I believe his performance is what did it, what I mean, for the people and them seeing the video and everything like that. But when they heard it on the radio, people was bumping to it. I heard it playing through car systems and everything like that. So he made a major impact as far as being one of the first to help Bad Boy blow up the way it did. And then when Biggie came, then that was really like the whirlwind where it's like, all right, Pac is around, bringing Biggie different places and everything. And I used to be right there with them because they were my friends. So we used to do a
Mhm.
lot.
Okay. So Bad Boy blew up, everybody began to understand who Bad Boy was, who the Bad Boy executives was, who Sean Puffy Combs was, and understand, that B.I.G. was this iconic dude that really was gonna set Bad Boy apart from everybody else. And so all over NYC, um, how was that? How was that movement? How was that progression for you as an industry executive?
Well, at the time, what I mean, I wasn't looked upon as an executive. I was just a worker at Uptown, but I had my own thing, what I mean? But you just got to learn how to play the roles, what I mean? I have my own thing as being the CEO of my own TV show and my link to link, but I had to play the role as, being a worker at Bad Boy Entertainment, and I played my role well. I was a team player and I wanted to see them win. That's why I kept promoting Puffy and trying to show them that I had what it took to help them, but I want y'all to help me too at the same time. They asked me, to be a part of what they was doing, and I did, everything that they asked upon me. So I feel like the jewels that I dropped on them and gave them certain things, it worked to this day, and it's still working right now. So I just said, it's all good. Let me just keep it going and just moving forward and just make it happen. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So as Puffy began to grow that roster, you know, um, Big Mace, Total, 112, and the roster kept growing, Black Rob, G-Dep, and the roster kept growing. And so as the
Mhm.
roster kept growing, and when I say a music industry, exactly, I'm gonna tell you why I say this. Um,
Right.
well, to the inner circle at Bad Boy, you say you was just a worker, but to the public eye and to the masses, you was an industry executive because you make shit happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's why I co-sign on that. You know what I mean? Because just anybody can make stuff happen in the music industry. No, bro, that don't
Right.
happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
You
yeah. So you held your own weight. You definitely was an industry executive.
no,
You know what I mean?
no doubt.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Salute for real, for real. So with that being said,
I appreciate it, fam.
no doubt, no doubt. The label grew big, man, and grew big, and
Yeah.
they were Bad Boy was just everywhere, man, just everywhere, and so
Yeah.
it was some major hits
I've
coming
been
out the camp.
I've been in the conference room sitting down with Total. Can't you see? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
At the end of the day,
right,
on stage with them, doing background singing for them and all that. You know what I mean? So, those are the fun times. I don't get credit for it, but at the end of the day, they know, that I was there and I was helping them as much as possible because I could sing, I could rap. I was modeling at the time. Kirk Burroughs even sent me on a couple of runs to do some acting. And, I made it all the way to the last part until Russell Simmons made the phone call for Fredro Starr to be Q on the Moesha show. That could have been my role. You understand?
mm,
The people was calling me, calling Kirk Burroughs, like, yo, we like this kid right here. Send him back down. I went 5 times. I had to go read for the part and everything, and I did my thing. But when Russell Simmons made that call, like, yo, Onyx is about to come and drop their album, this will be a good look, this and that. I'm like, they just crushed my world because I could have been that Q dude, you know what I mean, on the Moesha show. But
right,
besides that, I mean, like I said, I've been hands-on with a lot of stuff in this industry that some people know that lived and been there with me, like Rod and a couple of my other good friends that been with me at the office. Because sometimes, I have my own secrets that help me along my journey. When Kirk Burroughs and Puffy used to leave me at my office and be like, look, do this paperwork, and it was stacks of paper up. You got to file this and do this and that. I'm like, damn, these dudes want to work me to death and they don't want me to go to none of these parties and stuff like that. I know what I'm going to do. I had to pull in my own team to help me. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you, Sean Blacks and Harlem Mad Dad, Mr. Stash. You know what I mean? My people, they came through for me, and I had them and I taught them how to work the machines. Like, yo, go fax this, go fax that. We got to get this paperwork done so we can go out there to the nightlife, because we still got a TV show to do, and we still got what we have planned and everything like that. Even though I'm working for them, they trying to stop me from doing what I got to do. I cannot allow this to happen. I'll work and do what I
right,
got to do to make everything is straight, but we got to move fast. So when they leave out the office, then I call my crew up and they come in the office and we all working together. So Kirk Burroughs and Puffy, I know when y'all watch this, y'all probably be like, yo, how fast this guy was working. I had my team on point that helped me make sure that y'all was on point too. So, you know what I mean? Blessings to all of us. We got to do what we got to do to make a way to provide for ourselves. You know what I mean? So I was always taught, you work smart, not hard. You know what I mean?
right,
And I
right,
really
right,
worked smart to make sure that we was all on point and we all look good, because at the end of the day, when we came in the morning or when I came in from school, Kirk Burroughs used to look and be like, damn, how you finished all this stuff that quick? because I was on point. I knew what I had to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it
Yeah,
is what it is. But you know,
but I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. So Bad Boy blew up, and things was moving and moving, and then Tupac gets shot. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And that was a crazy time for the music industry as a whole, and it was a crazy time for fans. So
it was a
and
crazy
then
time for all of us.
right, and so then we have this East Coast West Coast drama. This
Mm,
this really crazy beef. Where Pac, well, he thought that everybody out from the East Coast was trying to get him, and and
right.
so how did that really affect, what I mean, a lot of your relationships? What I mean, was it such an impact where like people that was rock, cause
Mm,
Pac still had some people in New York that rock with him, you know what I mean? And
of
so
course,
so so
it
so
was that
so
big,
did that
though.
really right. So did that really affect the relationships, man?
Nah, not at all, family. Like me and Pac was mad cool. The Above the Rim movie that he did to the Poetic Justice, where we went to the premiere and Janet Jackson was hollering at me and all that. Where he got mad at me, telling me, "Motherfucker, why you talking to that chick? She wanted me to take an AIDS test and she was ready to throw you some motherfucking." And I'm like, Pac. He was like, "Yo, come on, let's go, Mel." So like I said, loyalty over everything else. You know what I mean? Could I been with Janet Jackson or go with Tupac? You know what I mean? This is my friend. I'm like, Janet, Tupac. Tupac, like, yo, nigga, let's go. You know what I mean? So, but
Oh man,
but
wow.
my Tupac, solid, you know what I mean? He always came to Harlem to let the world know, you know what I mean, that East Coast, West Coast, it was serious because of the media. And the media blew it up to out of proportion. But at the end of the day, it was sad that two of my good friends went down and lost their lives because of the whole East Coast, West Coast, the media doing all this nonsense where they were actually friends, and they was going to come out to the public and let the world know that they were still friends and they're going to do business. They had their own businesses. Tupac was doing the thug life, you know what I mean, which means try hard under God. You know what I mean? A lot of people thinking thug life was wilding and going crazy and stuff. No, we got to try hard under God. And when he used to sit with me and having these conversations, you know what I mean? 1 minute he'll flip, 1 minute he's passionate about what he's doing, but he was a motivator and he moved forward doing what he had to do. He was lied upon a lot, you know what I mean, which was sad. He had to go through it because of money situations. Everybody want money from everybody, you know what I mean? So that was the crazy part. But him and loved each other, and I was there. I bear witness to seeing with my own eyes, you know what I mean, being around these two individuals as my friend, going in and out studios, partying with these dudes, traveling on the road, all that, you know what I mean. Like, I'm in books. People, you go look at some of the books that I'm in, they can tell you the stories that I had bringing Tupac or Biggie Smalls to the studio with me on my block, all types of stuff, you know what I mean. People bear witness to see all this stuff, even when you said DJ Ron G, I used to bring them down to where Ron G was DJing at, DJ SNS and all that in Harlem, So at the end of the day, being around these two individuals, it's sad that they had to go down that way, but their music is here and their legacy is still standing strong, to this day. And, I just tell the youth in the industry and just everybody in general to learn from these past mistakes that happen and move forward and try to change and make better, because you don't want to make that
Right,
same mistake that they did East Coast, West Coast. It's not even
right,
worth it, just keep on
right,
moving
right.
forward,
So,
do what you got to do.
so I'm gonna say R.I.P. to Big, R.I.P. to Pop, and both of the
Yeah.
brothers was very impactful when it comes to the music business, when it comes to engaging with the audience, when it comes to people just loving them in general, man. So it was very impactful. So I just want to
And
say,
that
yeah, the music.
bringing it back to what you was talking about with analog. Analog helped them put that passion behind their lyrics and put that feeling behind their music. And the analog really helped them because you can have that feeling, that good feeling. And I believe we need to go back to the analog real to real, you know, where we can feel the music. That's why they music is felt and is going to last longer than digital world. This digital is too clean and you can't feel the passion that comes behind what we are creating right now, you know,
Right,
because the digital world is not giving you that. I believe they took the feeling out of the music and they don't want you to have that feeling no more. That's why they went digitally instead of analog right now.
right. And so, man, um, I remember talking to you, man, and because when I spoke to you, a couple weeks ago, do you
Yeah.
realize that was our second time speaking, right?
What was that?
That was our that was our like second time speaking. Like I spoke to you previous before, and this one Rod was in the hospital. Cause
Right,
Rod
right.
had called me and he called with you on the line, and so um just want to talk about these guys after they leave Bad Boy, man. Because I've heard Locke say some stuff. I've heard Darren from 112 say some stuff, and you know, I've heard one of the chicks from Total say some stuff. So, and me and Rod talk about the contractual agreements with these artists in Bad Boy,
Mhm.
and so
Right.
what do you what do you feel about an artist in paperwork, man, and about how they get so excited about the money and just put their signature on anything. Like, talk to these artists for a minute, man, and just let them really understand how imperative it is and how important it is to understand what you're reading and to have a legal counsel to go over this with you.
Well, basically, you definitely have to have legal representation to sign any type of document because at the end of the day, it's called contract. A contract. Con man is giving you a tract to sign. You know what I mean? Why would you want to sign your life down on a contract where you don't understand anything at all? You know, so you have to have somebody in place that's going to read your document to make sure that you're going to sign your life down on the dotted line, but sign the right piece of information. Don't just sign anything. You know, a lot of these artists, they so happy that they are part of something that they just sign their life away. And just when it's all said and done, after all the glitz and glamour and the TV cameras is off and everything, and then they realize that the money is not going directly to them and it's just going to the company, they got to understand too that the company is putting up X amount of dollars for you to blow you up, to turn you into that superstar that you've been craving to be. And if you craving to be the superstar, that's all you want. That's all you want to have. You want to have all these cars and the jewelry and the women or the men and the houses and all this glitz and glamour. But you have to have your business right. You got to make sure that you sign every single thing, dot your I's and cross your T's, and make sure everything is right and exact. So when it's all said and done, you're paid. You're getting your money. You're getting your just due. What you work hard for is just going to work. You providing a service for people, and that's what these artists seem to not understand. That you are a commodity, and you're providing the service to the people. You're an entertainer. You on the front line. You're partying. You're entertaining. So entertain us and make us feel good. Whatever songs or jokes or whatever you're doing as an entertainer out there, be the best that you can do, but make sure you get your bag, make sure you get your money, and you sign that documentation that's going to help you collect that residual income and make you financially stable for your family and for you to help out your friends that's in need, you know, or you will be robbed. At the end of the day, you got people waiting to rob you in this industry, you know, and it's sad to say that if you the type of person that's so anxious, you gonna get got. That's it, point blank. You're going to get got from those people that's waving all this money in front of you. That's temporarily. You know, you want longevity in this, then do it yourself. You know, make sure that you have everything in place. You got to have a team with you. You got to have your lawyers, you got to have management, you got to have your producers, you got to have yourself in place. It's not about going to the studio, smoking weed and drinking and getting all hied up, thinking that you're going to come out with a hit record and all that. Forget about it. That's all TV stuff, and that's what they wanted you to think and everything like that. It's not even the truth. You know, if you go into the white man's job, are you going there to smoke and drink and get high and sit there telling your boss all types of stuff and bringing all your friends to your job and everything like that? You ain't gonna do that on the white man shift, 9 to 5. So why you disrespecting the industry? Why are you coming in smoking and drinking and not prepared to do your job? Go in there prepared. Go in there working with people. Because you got to understand, people will lace your stuff too, and they'll get you so high and stuff like that that they're going to take advantage of you. And you got to watch all that. You know, these people, you know, you got bad people out here and you got good people. I'm one of the good people. You know, I'm moving Godspeed out here. You know what I mean? And I'm moving past all these demons and devils that's on that demon time. I'm moving Godspeed for real. You know what I mean? And I want the best for every individual artist out here that wants to get the bag, but want to do right by the bag too, because it's not for everybody. It's not meant for everybody to have this privilege of being a part of the industry and thinking that they're gonna blow up and have this hit record and stuff like that. Nah, because I'm holding a lot of record companies and a lot of radio stations accountable for their actions. Stop playing that shit. You know, showing the guns and the people with their pants sagging and all that. Yo, grow up. It's time. The time is now for people to grow up and do what you need to do, you know, and do your job the correct way. That's the only way we're going to push the envelope of moving the industry forward in the right direction. Right now, it's too many lives being lost out here. It's real shit going on out here, and people need to open up their eyes and their ears and wisen up to know that you have to be together, stick together, and be a family with one another, like worldwide. You know, like link to link is really worldwide. Different
Right.
individuals, everybody knows to link Mel Love. I make a phone call. I'm in any city and state, you know what I mean? And I got a team everywhere. And I do that for safety purposes because I was tired of hearing some of the artists being robbed on the road and they getting shot up and all this crazy nonsense happening. Some people got to check in. I'm like, yo, what are y'all pulling? What are y'all doing out here? This is the wrong way. I didn't come in the industry for none of this. So I just made a safe haven for all the artists out there. So if y'all traveling on the road, touring or going to different studios, different parts of the state or cities and different zip codes, just holler link the link and you're gonna see a team pull up behind you and y'all gonna be safe. Come on, y'all gonna be all right.
No doubt, no doubt. And shout out to Howland Entertainment LLC, man. Definitely appreciate you tuning in, stay in the comment section. Shout out to Cash on Camera,
Yo, how
Moody. Shout out to all of y'all for coming through and kicking it with us. So Mel, man, I just this is what I want to say about this industry, man. Um,
yes, sir.
when you say you move Godspeed, listen, man, people
Yes.
don't say that in this industry right here that we talking about. People will have
Right.
no idea what you talking about when you say Godspeed, man. Because
Because
this
you have to
and
believe in God first. You gotta have faith in the Lord first before you do
right,
anything. When you wake up in the morning, you thank God, you know what I mean, for just giving you life itself, to giving you the opportunity to wake up the next day. Because a lot of us is not waking up, still sleep
yeah,
or going
you're
to the
right,
grave,
absolutely
in the bed,
right.
So like Pac told me a long time ago, he said, Mel Love, you good, you know what I mean? And you a rare breed. They don't make people like you, you know what I mean? He was like, but you in the industry full with hatred and demons, and they'll eat you up out here. You gotta camouflage that shit, you know what I mean? But now I camouflaged it so much that I stopped talking about a lot of stuff out here, that I had to come back and bring Love and Substance, because it was people out here trying to steal my name of and falsify, you know what I mean, that they was me and all this stuff. And I'm like, nah, you can't say that you Mel Love, but you flashing guns and talking about killing people. Nah, I'm not about that. You know, like I said, and Pac said it the best, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. You understand? So at the end of the day, I'm out here fighting this good fight, you know, for all my people, you know, and I always look at it, what would Jesus and God do in this situation? You know, and if you ain't doing the right thing, then I can't be a part of what you're trying to do. Even with artists giving me their music, talking about Mel Love, listen to this music. Can you play this? Could you do? I'm not going to push nonsense. I'm not going to push things that I don't believe in. If I believe in you, then I'm behind you 100%. And all the artists that I work with, they know I push. I be up. I don't sleep. No sleep entertainment. We up, and I'm working your record. Like, big shout outs to Lid Sean. He just went #1 on Hood Idol, you know, radio, #1 platinum. You know what I mean? And it took like 2 years for us to push that record to make it go #1. Big shout outs to J Boy, you know, for introducing me to these artists, you know, giving me that know-how and be like, yo, Mel, you should sign these guys right here. They from Mississippi. They got a song called One Mississippi. I'll send it to you, family, so you can play that on your station and everything like that. But we just went #1 on Hood Idol, you know. Thank you, Hood Idol, you know what I mean, for making that go #1. But, you know, got a lot of records out there. K Davis, the Hitman, you know, he also went platinum, you know, and that's Dougie Fresh's nephew. You know, I've been working with him since Black Rob and G-Dep, you know. Dougie Fresh, we go back. I was the one that actually was the engineer on him and Little Vicious record that hit. You understand? So a lot of people don't know that I was behind the scenes with a lot of these great artists that's out, and I was around all these people. KRS-One, big shout outs to him. I used to manage his son, Cabling. God bless the dead. You know what I mean? It's like all these individuals that I've been around, I love them all, and they were my family, and I still consider them my family to this day. I might not see a lot of people, you know, in a long time, but when we hook up, back up and everything like that, it's like we never skipped the beat and we still around with each other. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you living in the past, Mel, get out of that, this and that, but I can't forget about these great days, you know what I mean? Wishing that some of these people lived to be a part of these great days that I was a part of. This is my journey, and this is what my eyes seen, and this is what I was a part of. So I appreciate all these great individuals that I work with, like a Rudy Ray Raw, you know what I mean, and Dark Side alumni, you know, Chris Murray, you know, Black Rob's hype man, you know what I mean? These are my brothers, you know what I mean? I love them. You know, they keep me up to par. They let me know, like, yo, Mel Love, you fucking up, or you on point, you know what I mean? Keep on going. I love my family.
Right.
G,
So
my man, that keep me on point, to tell me, yo, you slipping, get back on point, do what you got to do, you know. And big shout outs to Gigi Nail and Beauty Lounge. You know, we just up in Connecticut, you know, so I want everybody to come through. That's where I'm sitting at right now, you know what I mean? We close right now, but come, we open from 10 to 7, you know, and we do everything, you know, hair, makeup, we do full body massages, chair massages, we do the pedicure, manicure, the eyelashes, waxing, one-stop shop. So y'all come out to Norwalk, Connecticut, you know. I had to plug in a little something, you know, for us, you know, to come in. Black owned business, you know.
Right. So
it's more than, you know, we all family here, you know.
No doubt. So Mel, man, things progressing with Bad Boy, and then, you know, we here in the summertime. I hear somebody pull up, you know, at the park, basketball courts and softball field and the big rims and the old school cars. Somebody say, I hear some speakers say, and I hear an artist say, I met this bad chick uptown. Like, whoa. I asked my man, like, who that? Who that coming out speaker? He was like, man, that's That's Bad Boy Camp, man. That's Black Rob, bro. And the song was just everywhere, like in no time.
Mm.
Like
Right,
whoa, everywhere. So, and I know, I know that you and Black Rob was really, really close. Like
right.
that's your brother, so we're really close. So
Yeah.
let's get into this life after Bad Boy, man. Like what happens
Well,
when it's life after
Rob,
Bad Boy?
well, we still good. You know what I mean? Like people thought that I was gonna stop doing my music and everything. For me, I had to go through a couple of transitions. You know what I mean? My
Mhm.
kids, I'm at home, you know, with them, letting them learn me, and I'm learning them and everything. But one day I went to a show, and it was a Maria Davis show. My good friend Maria Davis, Mad Wednesdays, and I'm on stage performing, but I'm talking about cleaning dishes and being home with the kids, picking them up, taking them to school. I love my kids and everything like that. But she looked at me and said, "Baby, come here for a minute. Let me talk to you. You got to come back when you right, Mel Love. You know what I mean? We love you. We know you love your kids and everything like that. But you know what I mean? We want the old Mel Love back. Where you at? You know what I mean? I'm up there talking about picking the kids up, cooking and cleaning and this and that. But that's what I was doing at the time. So that was one transition I had to go through with family life. And then to go back into me being Mel Love, the artist. You know, Mel Love, the artist, is Mr. Party Man, hitting the clubs, being on the scene, letting the world know, like, I'm here. I got good music and I got great artists. Let's go. You know what I mean? But that person is back. You know, I'm back on the scene. Got a new single that's about to drop June 7th called Pull Up. So I want everybody to pull up when I'm ready to do this music video. But going back into, you know, Black Rob situation, like I grew up with him in Jefferson Projects. You know, that was a good friend of mine. Myself, Sean Blacks, and Harlem Mad That we the first brothers to put Black Rob on TV through our TV show, Follow the Flavor, where everybody got to see who he was and what he was doing on Follow
Mhm.
the Flavor. So from there, he got signed to Bad Boy and everything like that. He had a different manager at the time, but he wasn't listening to none of the managers or anything like that. He was just running wild, doing what he wanted to do. So one day, Kirk Burrows called me on the phone and was like, "Listen, none of them people can control Black Rob, can't do nothing for him. Could you please go get him? You grew up with him, so he will understand who you are. Go and we're gonna put you under management." So I was grateful, and it was out of, you know, the grace of God giving me that opportunity and that job to become Black Rob's manager officially, because Kirk Burrows and Sean Puffy Combs made me his manager. So, you know, I ran around with Black Rob. Angie Martinez called me up one day and was like, "Yo, could you bring Black Rob to my birthday party?" So we went down to Jam Rock. I brought Black Rob down there. That's when I got to meet P.D. Pablo for the first time, which Black Rob put P.D. Pablo under alumni, because Black Rob was starting his own company at the same time too, called Alumni. So this is where Black Rob told me, "Yo, Mel, even though you managing me, I'm gonna be running around doing this, that, and the third, but I'm creating my own record company and I want you to manage this. Could you do this job for me?" And I was like, "I got your back. Let's make it happen." So that's when he started introducing me to Mega Phenom, Rudy Ray Raw, um, and a couple of like Mascot and a couple of other people I already knew because we all
Mhm.
grew up in the hood and everything like that. So he already told me, "Yo, they are part of alumni, they are part this and that," you know what I mean? So I started working with them. But then Rob just started running around doing other things and stuff like that. And he was like, "Yo, Mel, you know, you was too good for me," because me personally, I'm there for the artist, and I'm structured to make sure that the artists get in the studio, do what they got to do. We got shows. Let's go do the show, get our money, and let's break out. He want to stay party and bullshit and do what he got to do. So, you know, I'm like, look, I got other things I got to take care of, but I got to always make sure that the artist is right, you know? So at the same time, you know, I'm managing him from managing Black Rob. We got into a little something, you know what I mean? So I stopped managing him for a while, but my name was still on paperwork and everything like that as his manager. So, you know, people used to call me up, like Russell Simmons called me up one day and was like, yo, Mel, you know, we only lent the jewelry to Black Rob, you know, to shoot for the video. Tell him to bring that jewelry back. You know what I mean? So stories go on for days with that. But that's my brother. I love him. God bless the dead to Black Rob. You know what I mean? His legacy will live on forever. Actually, June 8th, we just got approved from the senators and the mayor that his sign is going to go up on 115th and First Avenue. So anybody that's in the New York area, you know, we're going to do the street signing for Black Rob, you know, and everybody could be there to celebrate with us, you know.
That's dope. That's
It was
dope.
a lot
That's
of hard
dope.
work. Moving forward, making sure things is happening. Good thanks to my good friend C Styles, and you know, we just moving forward, just making things happen. You know, with the
Right.
senators and the mayors and everything like that. I just got the call yesterday, and I've been speaking to them, and I'm basically making it happen. You know, so you'll see Black Rob's name on 115th and First Avenue.
That's dope. That's dope. So, you know, time is winding down. So, man, what has life been for you like after Bad Boy Records? You know, you hear a lot of stories and stuff about Bad Boy Records, man, and some are horror stories, but some are memorable stories that people be like, man, I can't believe I was there during this time, man. Like this is history. So, what
Right.
has life been for you after Bad Boy Records, man?
Well, it's been all right. It's been all right so far. You know what I mean? Up and down like a roller coaster. You know, like people thought I was going to stop the industry, the music, and everything that I do. But there's no stop because at the end of the day, if I'm working with them at Bad Boy and I'm giving them jewels and I'm giving them insight on what my mind is thinking and blueprints and letting them know, and they asking me a bunch of questions, writing it down and getting my samples or whatever my thoughts are, and it's working, then why should I stop? I'm gonna keep on going. It's length to
Right,
length, the movement you want to move with. I am the outlet, and all the plugs come to me because I'm giving them that energy, that new wave, and that vibe to keep on going and soar new heights. Like it's like the sky, no ending. There's no beginning and no ending to the sky. We're gonna keep on going. So for me, you know, anybody that plugs up with me, they're gonna be charged to keep on doing greatness out here. You see Puffy, Jay-Z, and all of them, they still going. Were they on a million or something? We pushing trillionaire life right now. So I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep on moving forward, doing everything that God has planned for me to do on this planet Earth before I'm out of here, you know, and I'm not gonna
right,
stop. Any new artists out there, they just gotta come correct. You know, I'm pushing, I'm looking for new artists, new talent. I got TV shows that's about to be on the air. I got Roku, Amazon TV, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, and LG apps. We got movies being produced. I'm writing along with some friends of mine. We doing a comedy right now movie because I want to see us people in a different light. You know, understand? I don't want to see no more drug killing, bang bang shoot 'em up movies and stuff like that. That's degrading us and making us look bad. That's going to keep us stuck in that era. We passed that already. Everybody did that already. Now we got to show us in a new light. You know, let's show us in the light of the comedy world more so than ever. We need more laughter out here because we've been crying for so many years. We've been marching for so many years. And it's like one minute something happening to one of our brothers and sisters on the streets, and people's only out there for a week or two, and then next thing you know, you waiting for the next person. Who's next? We don't want that no more. You understand? So right now, what I'm pushing on my agenda, I'm holding people accountable for their actions with all this stuff they're talking about in their raps. Rewrite your raps and bring love and substance to the forefront so we can live more longer. We don't have to look over our shoulders getting busted in our head because we're getting too old for this now. You know, we got to have more respect for the elders. We have to do more for the elders out here, and we got to move in that light right now, because we all one day is going to be an elder, and we want to make sure that we teach those that need to be taught right now before we get to that age and we mess up, you know, because a lot of us have messed up. You know, OGs need to really be OGs. If you're going to call yourself an OG, stand up for your community, really rock with your community and be that OG and be respected like you're supposed to be respected out there. I'm not glorifying the jail or nothing like that, because I've been through jail already. I've been through that life already, in the Beacon and the Blood House and all that, you know what I mean, where it was worse and it was not a good place to be. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? I want all my brothers and sisters to come out of jail. I got jobs for all of y'all. You understand? We got things to do. We got a mission that God put us on this planet to do, and we got to move forward, and we got to all work together, because a lot of us, it's not happening at all. We need to wake up and really do something that's going to catapult us to the forefront, that's going to keep on moving the music forward, the movies, the athletes, you know, all that. You know what I mean? Like, I just sponsored a team in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, Hoop Travels Link to Link. You know, I got an award for it and everything like that. I'm going to start posting all this great stuff I've been doing so far. A lot of stuff I keep to myself, because I look at it like, all right, I'm doing my job. I don't know if people care about it or not. I'm not doing it to brag or nothing like that. I'm really just trying to show that you can do anything in this world, and everything is possible if you put your mind to it and you have a team that's willing to work with you and move forward with you. I'm looking for people that want to invest to help us keep on moving from place to place, so we can keep on doing great things out here. You know, a lot of people, you know, they want to be a part of it, and some people don't, you know, but I believe in everybody. Thank you to all my haters, you know, because without y'all, you know, keeping my name out there living, you know, I wouldn't be doing my job right. You know what I mean? So, you know, Link to Link is standing strong, and I stand behind everything that I believe in. And that's why I'm here to this day, 2022, still standing and moving forward, because I believe, you know, and you have to believe to keep moving forward in order to make things happen. You know, you can't stop believing. If people don't believe, you got to get rid of them and get far away from them as possible, because those are dream killers, and you don't want to be a part of that world with those people, you know, because they'll stop your whole momentum. They'll stop you and put you into a depression state where you don't want to do nothing with yourself, and you stop believing in yourself. You have to get out of that slump that you in, and you have to keep on moving forward, because you can do anything that your mind tell you to do. So like I said, Link to Link, we here moving and grooving, and we independent, but we moving major out here. Trillionaire life, that's what we moving on. Godspeed.
Oh, Mel, listen, man, it's been definitely a blessing to really have you on my platform, man. And it's been a blessing to hear about your journey and hear, you know, how your journey started, and here you've been out there on that pound since you was 13, 14, man. And, you know, Godspeed, like you said, Godspeed, God favor, you know, all the above, man. So I just want to thank you for coming on the Chatterbox, and, you know, we link the link now. So, you know, is there anything you want to say to the people? You want to give anybody a shout out, or where they can find you at?
I just like to say, be yourself, because everything else out there is taken. Free G-DEP, free Beefy, free all my brothers and sisters that's locked in the pen right now. It's time for y'all to come home and get out of there, and never return back in there. Y'all can reach me at link to link ent.com, or link to link ent02 at gmail.com, or just hit up Gigi. You know what I mean? And, you know, y'all want to book me for shows, because I'm still out here moving and grooving, doing my singing, my rapping. Even if you want me to come and produce some tracks for you, I'm still a beat maker. I still shoot movies and music videos, edit them. A one-stop shop, family, that you need in your life right now. And I'm positive, and you're going to have a great conversation. You're going to have my experience that I got to offer, because a lot of people don't have my experience and all the people that I learned from to take upon myself and add it on to what I'm doing and moving forward to help you in your greatness, you know? So at the end of the day, you know, like I said, y'all come out, and you know, I'm doing a special also. Anybody that purchase any of my music from any of the music platforms out there, just come and bring it to me. I'll sign an autograph at Gigi's Nail and Beauty Lounge, you know what I mean? And I give you half off on your nail and your pedicure and your manicures, you know what I mean, that you're going to get done. You know, come out to 345 Main Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut, 065 068 51. My bad. You know what I mean?
No
But
doubt,
we
no
out
doubt.
here, Norwalk, Gigi's Nail and Beauty Lounge. You know, like I said, anybody that purchase any one of my music off of any of the music platforms, y'all, I'll sign an autograph. We'll chop it up, and also I'm giving back to everybody. You know, pushing my music and just pushing Link to Link in general. You know, it's like I tell people, sign up with BMI. You know, you sign up with BMI as a writer. Get your IP number. Send me your IP number, and I'm gonna register you to one of my songs. And that's your song. We're gonna get money together. I want people to collect generational wealth and make money, you know what I mean, with me. I'm not selfish or nothing like that. I'm, like I said, I'm giving. Nobody plays with they publishing and they royalties and nothing like that. I'm the only one out here doing that, you know, giving back to everybody. So if you're an artist, or if you just people that just love music in general, and y'all pushing Link to Link, everybody sign up with BMI. All right, everybody sign up with BMI as a writer. Is free. Get your IP number and send it to me at linktolinkent02@gmail.com. All right, and I will register you to one of my songs that I'm putting out, because I got a lot of songs that I've been working on. So, you know, help me help you, and we help each other. Each one teach one, and we can all get paid together. And this is how we moving out here. Like I said, Godspeed. We collecting generational wealth right now, and I'm out here for everybody. Let's go. Link to Link, the movement you want to move with.
Link to link, man. So want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank y'all for coming and just vibing with us tonight, man. And thanks for everybody that really came on, you know, the YouTube channel. And I appreciate it, man. And you know, Mel Love, man, it's been a blessing to talk with you, man. I'll definitely be in touch with you. Until the next time, man. Peace, blessings, and
All right.
most of all, man, stay safe. Peace.
Nah, safe journeys, always, family. The Chatterbox.
Peace.
Big shout out to Rod. All right, Link to Link. Let's go.
No, no doubt.